I'm Neat.
I'm Rox.
And this is The Bourbon Barrel. So, we're doing a couple episodes. The first one that we're doing here is another What Bullshit episode. It's what he does. So
it is. I throw curveballs at him. I really do.
Every damn day.
I have very decent reasons for this in my head. Okay, now my head's a special place that most people don't visit.
Magical.
The Tullamore Dew I mentioned before, I finally pulled the trigger to buy it. On Thanksgiving, I opened it. So it's been opened only a week and a half or something, 2 weeks. Right? It's the only cider cask finish thing I've seen locally anywhere, whether it's whiskey, scotch, bourbon, anything. And I looked it up, and I could only find a couple more. Like one was it New Hampshire, Vermont, something. Virginia Distillery had one, and there's another scotch that has one, I think Glenmoray. So I wanted to try it. I tried it on Thanksgiving. I liked it. It was okay. But I'm very interested to see what he thinks, just because there's no other cider cask finish. There is no bourbon cider cask finish that I've ever seen, heard of, read about, anything. So that's the best chance I could take. Tullamore Dew is a very well-known brand. It's triple distilled. It's an Irish whiskey. It's not a scotch, now that I say that, just so you understand. This is an Irish whiskey. Jane Walker is a scotch. This is a bourbon, actually. Is it bourbon? Yeah, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Bird Dog's kind of more well-known for their flavored whiskeys with the peaches and apples and all that.
WSB, I guess bourbon is allowed in these. So.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah. Bourbon should probably be in every episode, and then we just throw in other things, but, you know.
I would hope.
You would definitely hope. Plus, it's an 80s episode. We get to make 80s jokes all day long, okay? If we feel like it. And there's a lot of them to be had. I mean, oh my God, we were just talking about it a second ago. Howard the Duck getting vacation.
I forgot my 16 candles upstairs.
Your 16 candles. They were supposed to be on set, so he's way to go. But anyway.
What the hell was her name? Molly Ringwald?
Christmas Vacation was 1989.
Wow.
Too, so you could actually do references from that. European Vacation.
The best in Christmas.
And all three Rusties, and all three, what was the daughter's name? Rusty and... Oh, we're losing credibility.
Oh, man.
We immediately don't remember the daughter's name in Vacation.
How long ago the 80s were? Like
I do. I'm aware, yes.
It was a while ago.
Yes, I remember the 80s. Ronald Reagan and all of that, so...
Yeah, good old Reaganomics.
Hair bands and...
slap bracelets.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good time. So
great time to be alive. I was alive for all 4 years of that.
Oh, I had the whole 10. So, yeah, it was fun.
But, yeah. So, what's the first one we were going to try?
Well, I don't know. I didn't even think about that. So,
okay.
I'm going to cleanse my palate a little bit here with
Seems
water.
like a wise decision, because we just had some delicious bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll drop that here pretty soon, actually, if you haven't already seen it.
It's going to be tough to... None of this is going to compare.
This is really sad, because we tried the It's Bourbon Night Nulu pick before we started recording this. And that was so good that everything else by comparison may suck.
It may. And there's a good chance it will. So, but, you know... Everybody likes what they like, everybody drinks what they drink, and you just never know.
Sure.
You know, we've been surprised quite a few times already, and we're already 10, 12 episodes in or whatever, 10, 11.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I guess...
I don't know, man.
Should we start with Jane?
You want to start with Jane?
Ladies first, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
See? What a gentleman. He's got chivalry written all over him.
I also have failure written all over me.
Do you?
On the chest.
Well,
I got a tattoo.
Here.
I was drunk.
No, you didn't.
That's right.
He's lying to you.
I have no tattoos. I'm smooth like a baby.
Yeah. I'm hairy and tattooed all over the place. That's why I'm Rox. So, you know, he's kind of neat. What are you going to do?
Neat, clean cut.
I almost feel like...
Is this a lot like the Johnny Walker?
This is Johnny Walker.
So it's just a different label.
This is Johnny Walker, and I said it in one other episode for a minute. It's because we almost did it, but then we didn't because it was kind of a backup plan in case we didn't want to taste that Jack Daniel's 12 he's had for 12, 15 years.
The black label, yeah.
Yeah, that's 9 gallons of nonsense.
It's 4 liters.
If we don't finish this, which we probably won't, but we're doing an episode with 3, but I'll probably dump it in my infinity bottle. You have this over here.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. For me, you mean?
All right. Yeah, you do you, boo.
That I made right there.
He's going to mix bourbons with whiskeys.
I've already done it. It's already in there.
Oh.
It's called the Devil's Nectar. It's a special picture of a special friend of mine, and I'll let her in on it just so she knows. One of her baby pictures, if you will. And now I'm just pouring.
She just has those Emperor Palpatine eyes.
She does. She does.
There's an 80s reference. Star Wars, right?
Nice. I knew I liked you.
All right. So
the nose is kind of bland. Now we're going from 115 to 80.
This is...
Yeah, we're going down 35 points.
That's
from
okay.
The last thing we tasted.
But this smells...
It
smells like grass. I don't hate the smell, but it smells... It's very springtimey.
There's a floral, yeah. I got a floral. I got you. I'm with you. Again, I bought a Johnny Walker Red once. Drank the bottle. Like I've told you guys before, I'll finish something I buy just cause, whatever. To me, it's just... I'm not going to waste it or something. I would drink the big Johnny Walker Black. I would literally pick it up and drink it like this till it was gone. If I will
record that.
I would drink it. That's just fine. Because. But this is the second thing of Johnny Walker I ever bought. As a matter of fact, to this day, I don't think I bought another one. Like a third thing. I don't think I've ever bought Black Label, green, gold, blue. All those fancier ones. But this one just surprised me. As a matter of fact, the reason I bought this was because it was on sale. It was originally about $45, and they kept trying to sell it for $29.99 because they had too much stock and people weren't buying it. And I was just so happy with it. I really, 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 really liked it. It was one of my highest rated things I had drank before we started this show of my own accord. So,
okay.
And we're gonna go full disclosure. There's very little left, and it's about a year old. So.
Yep. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, you can speak and tell them what you're thinking if you like.
I'm thinking it tastes exactly like the thing in my bottle, and the Johnny Walker Black, and it.
Oh, see, I still get a better...
It's sweeter, but it's still bad.
And again, I can try to explain it to you guys, and I'm probably going to use my own words as my own way of explaining it versus other people you've seen on other shows. I feel like I get a warmer upper mouth feel real quick. It just kind of warms my upper mouth more than the Johnny Walker Black. The Johnny Walker Red was, I told you before, the whiskey dictionary guy puts a bag of garbage right up on the table when he says this is what we're going to taste. Said, whoops, that's not Johnny Walker Red. But... there's also the story behind this is there's a female master distiller or blender at Johnny Walker, and she's in charge of this batch, and I think it's an annual batch. So that's why it's Jane Walker, because it's done by the female master distiller and female executives and things like that. So that's cool that they've they do things like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So no, I'm still in it. I'm still liking it.
It's sweeter for sure. There's definitely sweet notes to it.
The floral comes across stronger than I remember it.
Yep.
Now, maybe it's because it's towards the bottom. I don't know. But the floral does come across.
It's not for me.
No.
No.
I don't taste peat either. So
I was getting something in there that is not in a bourbon, and it was very upsetting to me.
Well, everything's upsetting to you that's not a bourbon. Emma Walker, master blender, and her last name is Walker.
Oh.
So maybe she's even part of the family.
I wonder if she's related to Sarah Walker from Chuck. That's a 2000s reference. I'm sorry.
Way to go, Clark. Jeez. Oh. Now I'm trying to think of more 80s movies, and I didn't prepare myself well
Were the California Raisins the 80s?
Yes, I believe the California Raisins were the 80s, yes. Not even Nintendo. I think...
That was old...
Atari. It's Atari
yeah.
in the 80s, and playing with the joystick.
The original OG Nintendo came out in 89, I believe.
Along with Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
I must say. Jane Walker is a true celebration of the depth of the flavor found within the whiskeys of Johnny Walker. The whiskey is well-rounded, smooth, blah, blah, blah. Featuring notes of ripe orchard fruit, white peaches.
I didn't taste any peaches.
Baked apple and sweet cream with a dark chocolate finish.
So it's definitely sweet, but my God, it's not good.
I'm on the opposite side. I still like it.
That's fine. It's each their own, but man, no, it's...
The story of the whiskey begins with Elizabeth Cumming, who owned and operated Cardhu Distillery, and under whose leadership the distillery flourished. She ultimately sold the distillery to the Walker family in 1893, and ever since, single malt from Cardhu has been at the heart of many of the beloved blends from Johnny Walker. And now it's done by Emma Walker, master blender. I would love to know if Emma Walker is related to Johnny Walker.
I would assume if,
I think that's the assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
So... But again, that's great, man. I don't, anybody who's not the old school series of thoughts is always older, brustly men in, smoky cigar rooms and all that kind of stuff. And it never has to do with women. It never has to do with, other people.
I do love women.
I've heard. You've mentioned it. So, There are a couple you're not a fan of, but
yeah. So
I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan.
and to each their own. Like
Yeah.
it's not my cup of tea. Like it just.
It's true.
I've had such visceral reactions to the Johnny Walker Black because it's well.
Yeah,
And this is giving me like reminiscence of that. So it's
yeah.
better, but it's still not my thing.
I still, and I don't think we should we're looking forward to the blinds because we were just talking about it off camera, and then when we start doing it next year, the only reason we're doing the rankings is to try to get an idea of what we think we like, and then later on we're gonna learn, and it's just gonna educate us more and educate our palates and our taste buds and everything else.
Well,
and therefore,
I hope I'm not a D student.
Well,
One of them.
I don't know. Some people like the D, so I don't know if I told you, but
That's fair.
I'm pretty sure you're aware, to be honest. But
That's fair.
anyway,
So, any other Jane Walker factoids you'd like to give the audience?
no, nothing that I'm aware of offhand. Just
Okay.
I don't know.
So,
I think it's a good. Now again, if it's regular price, then it's like $45. I had never bought it, and as a matter of fact, I walked by it a few times at $29.99. So and then finally decided to do
get
it.
on the Jane train.
Give it a shot. Sure. So drinkable. And
Well,
again, I would
sure.
buy another one. I
Okay.
will if it's a good price. He won't.
No.
No.
So, up next, are we going Bird Dog or
Ladies
Total
first?
Doom?
Why don't we switch over to this?
You want to
And
go with
then-
the straight up bourbons?
I do, because this one we're going from a Scotch. Either way, it's Scotch, Irish whiskey, and bourbon. We're literally doing a WBS. It's all three of those, and
Well,
Bird
I know
Dog,
where my
yeah.
vote is.
But you
wanna
wouldn't
save-
if it was blind. You'd think I think I'm gonna like this one, but
I
you
want to
know,
save the best for last.
Like-
That'd be
the
the
colors
Bird
are
Dog.
similar. Now this one's supposed to have apple flavor to it. I opened it. I drank quite a bit that weekend. You do this. You're better at that stuff. I'm not. There you go.
That's a real cork, sir.
There you go.
Real cork.
We went from real cork. Well, the first one was plastic or synthetic of some sort from our.
True. And then Johnny Walker's just a screw cap.
Yeah.
So-
Johnny Walker doesn't get to a cork until it's blue. The blue labels
I've
are
had blue
corks.
before.
Did you like it?
No.
Nate? Man, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him, guys. Any of you guys out there that like scotches and Irish whiskeys, send me some emails or some comments on the Facebook page, because I kind of do that. And if you think I could find something that would help him get over that hump.
That's Wednesdays. Those are hump
Duty.
days. Nice.
Sorry.
So,
Duty hump.
duty hump?
It's a duty hump.
Dirty pop.
Alrighty, we're dogging the bird. So
Bird Dog.
it is the holiday season. Happy holidays to all of you out there watching. Hope you have a wonderful time. Hope everything goes well for you. Hope you're COVID free. So
That's the way to be.
it is. So we've been told.
Cheers.
Did you get a nose at all or no?
Nothing I can smell.
Honestly, I don't smell anything
Yeah.
differently than the Jane Walker still.
Did you clean out the glasses?
I didn't clean it.
Oh, I did.
I was going 80, so
Yeah, and I think that's the problem is that this is 80 and we started out with
at 115.
114.
14.8 or whatever,
Yeah.
yeah. Like literally 35 points. So I actually saw, I really think it was, I'm not sure if it was, I might be wrong, it might not be, it's bourbon night, it might have been somebody else, but maybe the Whiskey Vault, where they were tasting the peaches and the cinnamons and all that stuff, the 70 proofs and stuff. No, that's right. It was one of the more recent lives from It's Bourbon Night, because I was texting you and they were doing a 1-year-old bourbon. They were doing, they didn't do a Scotch or an Irish whiskey, but they did something else that's not a bourbon. I can't remember what, it was something flavored. It was something like cinnamon or something.
So distilled in Kentucky.
Yep. More famous for all the flavored ones. You guys probably see them at every liquor store. Bird Dog Peach, Bird Dog Apple, Bird Dog Orange, Bird Dog...
I can see why they had flavor.
Listen, the next episode that's coming out after this one, or the next one we're shooting after this one, I'm not sure in which, he'll drop them.
You don't know. You
right
never
there.
know.
Right. Is a Jim Beam episode, and it's not the higher up Jim Beams. We're going to run through, well, as far as Jim Beam goes,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, is there a lower offering from Beam than White Label?
No, I don't think so.
Unless they have another name tag that I'm not thinking of that's on that bottom.
couldn't
Well,
tell you.
Old Granddad is
Old
Jim
Granddad's
Beam.
pretty old.
Yeah. News. You heard it here, folks. Old Granddad is not new. So
That's true.
I have one of those old Granddad 114s, but I'm worried to open it because It's Bourbon Night at one point said they thought it was being discontinued, so I was kind of holding on to it. Mm-hmm. Which we also, I grabbed real quick, and he would have been there probably quick enough to grab the second one. This has happened to us a couple times. This Blue Note Uncut, thank you, It's Bourbon Night, Chad and Sarah. And there's a video about that. The Blue Note Uncut, if you find it, are the barrels from the Rickhouse collapse at the Barton Distillery, if I'm not mistaken, from a few years ago, that they were able to save or salvage, and they still used. And that's what those ones are, and we each got a bottle of it.
Yeah.
So,
well,
obviously,
thank you, Rox, for picking them up.
You're welcome, man. Always. So, well, thank you for everything you do. That's the least of which I can do to help you out with all this stuff. All
right. So I've tried this. Have you?
I have not. I'm sorry. I've been running off at the mouth.
So the Bird Dog here. Bird Dog. I'm not really tasting much of anything.
It's definitely 80.
Yeah, there's not a lot of burn or anything.
There's less floral than this. I'm even though when I smelled it, I was like, I'm still smelling the Jane. I taste it, and the floral doesn't come through for me at all. This is more of a spring. It's
pretty bland compared to what we've had. This is
more of a spring. Actually, probably 80s are more spring, because it's kind of like you want to ease into like a deeper, warmer, heavier thing when you're sitting on your couch watching Christmas Vacation.
Or the Grinch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The original Grinch was the early 80s. Yeah. Boris Karloff, I believe.
Really?
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure one of those famous older.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Guess what? I don't have copyrights to that song.
Well, I don't think the Grinch is suing you anytime soon.
I don't know. Dr. Seuss, he gets wild.
Oh my God, Dr. Seuss. Anyway.
Susaman.
But anyway.
Okay.
I'm feeling bad that we're not having enough 80s references in this.
I was not prepared for 80s references.
I know, neither was I as far as that goes, but it's like then I'll go home and be sitting
Harry
down
Truman
later
Doris
tonight.
Day.
Red China, Johnny Ray. Is that from the 80s? Really?
Yeah. We didn't start the fire? Because it's got Richard Nixon back again?
Well, it starts in the 50s, and it goes through the present times.
It goes through all the 80s, because it's they do like the moon landing and all that crap.
Right.
Well, that was 69, it's the moon landing.
South Pacific, Joe
DiMaggio.
Yeah. Billy Joel. There's the 80s for you. Piano Man. Yeah,
that's absolutely. Billy Joel is definitely 80s.
Absolutely. I don't hate it. I don't think it's terrible. I just think it's 80.
It's just very bland compared to some other stuff that we've had, especially that we've had today between your Jane Walker and the New Lou.
Yeah. So. Well, again, I don't think there's a lot of overwhelming anything. I think if I taste a little bit of something, it's more of the caramel vanilla, kind of just a hint, just those baby hints.
I'm just getting like, I'm not getting alcohol taste. I'm just getting kind of, it's there. It's liquid.
Yeah.
It'll probably dehydrate me later.
Probably, yeah. And it's probably the move. So
that's Bird Dog. What expression is this? Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Distilled.
I think they only have two expressions that aren't flavored. It's this one and aged 7 year that looks like this one with a darker label.
So this is 84 proof.
Oh, 84. Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was still 80. My bad. Well, it's in the 80s, but I thought it was 80. So, or I was remembering incorrectly.
That's the Bird Dog 84 proof.
Yeah, buddy.
So, have fun with that.
And it's very, very, very price sensitive. This one, like I told you, 40 down to 30. Finally grabbed it. This is $18-19. So we're talking entry level.
On the plus side, you can probably mix this with something real easy because it doesn't have a lot of overwhelming flavors. So if you want to put this in some type of cocktail, definitely the way to go because it'll still get you with that 80 proof, 84 proof. But you're not going to taste it in the cocktail. At least I'm not because I just had 114.
I would venture to say a starter bourbon.
Yeah. If you want to start into this journey, you probably taste a couple more things because your tongue's not burnt.
If you don't like this, if you start here and don't like it because it's not flavored enough, maybe you actually like the flavored stuff from this distillery.
Yeah, try it out.
The flavor you're looking for. It's gonna go down 10 points or so in proof because it's not bourbon because it's flavored, but it was worth a shot. Like I said, it was lower end. We try to,
and again,
we're blue collar.
It's not something that I'm gonna throw away. That's something that you can definitely put in cocktails and mix to make whether it be old fashioned or just bourbon sour or just mix it with a soda.
Bourbon and Coke, bourbon and ginger ale.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So I could see myself doing that. Absolutely.
Right.
So again, we're gonna go to this one next. This is the Tullamore
This one is the
Dew.
one I'm excited to try because he's raved about it and he's raised the expectations. So
It's true. Okay. I kind of was trying to, and I tried to a degree, but I always talk to him. Anything that's about whiskeys and bourbons, if I try something, I talk to him because that's what we do. And I have a couple other friends that are into it, but not as close as I am to him. So, aw, look at that.
my buddy. Was that
that from
90s?
the 80s? That's awesome. Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks, that TV show. The guy, because they played gay guys in the show, right? That guy passed away. That was the other guy.
Really?
Yeah, I know he was like, nothing compared to Tom Hanks, but he was good in the show. But yeah, he died sadly recently. Rest in peace. I don't remember your name. So. Guy from Bosom Buddies.
I've never heard that show in my life.
Oh, the one really where they had to play like they were in drag the whole time so they could get the apartment because it had to be for females or something like that.
I remember Perfect Strangers.
Oh yeah, with Belky. Yeah. Belky Bartikamos. Yeah.
That was before the
Full House.
Full House, Family Matters.
Yeah.
TGIF.
Vertical, oh my god. Full House, Fuller House.
I loved Family Matters.
I liked Family Matters.
Loved
Absolutely.
It. Steve Urkel was my jam, and then Stefan Urkel.
Yeah. He was recruited by Duke to play basketball.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't go there. Yeah. He didn't go there, but he went somewhere else. But he was recruited. He now has his own strain of marijuana.
Of course he does.
Yeah. It's literally called Urkel something or another. I've seen the pictures in the articles.
He's still a cool guy. He was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in like a 90s cartoon. We're going to pour some of this. How do you pronounce that?
Tullamore Dew?
Tullamore Dew.
The Dew is an acronym for a gentleman's name. I apologize for not having that ready for you, but it is DEW with periods after it, and I've looked it up and I know it's a gentleman's name, and that's really small writing, so if you can read it by all means, give it a crack. But
do you want to pour some
I
out
can, but yeah.
Dew, like the stuff on grass.
I'm trying to, I tried to, and I was about to say this, and then we just got blathering about nonsense. I was trying to not tell him too much what I thought about it, other than, it's good, it's okay, whatever, because I wanted to get his true, honest opinion. Now, that being said, we already know his true, honest opinion on Irish whiskeys and scotches. So
now, to be fair, I do like a good hard cider. So if this was finished in a cider cask, that bodes well for it.
That's a plus. That's a plus. I do, too. I do like some Angry Orchard, some Mackenzie's down here. I told you my wife loves the Mackenzie's pumpkin they put out in cider every year. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I've drank a few of them. They're good. They're better than a lot of things I've ever had with pumpkin in them. So I think pumpkin sucks, but those ones are pretty tasty. But
I love how everyone brags about this triple distilled bullshit.
Yeah.
it's like one of those government regulations.
Tullamore Dew and... Is it Jameson? Are the two triple distilled Irish whiskeys that are famous anyway? Yeah. I think.
All right. Here we go. What do we got?
I'm going to sip my water real quick.
I do smell
How are we at time-wise on this episode?
Little Apples, 24. So we'll finish up here soon.
Well, we went pretty long in a couple of those. We were like 45, 46.
Yeah, some of these episodes were like holiday episodes and stuff. So
yeah, happy holidays.
We were trying to spread cheer.
Yeah. Much like the girl from Family Matters after that ended. That's a terrible joke. That's a terrible joke.
The theme song from Family Matters at the beginning of one of those adult films, that would be hysterical. Also inappropriate.
Oh my god. We're well above the legal age to talk about this. We're having a show where we're doing bourbons, so children shouldn't be watching. Yeah. And we haven't, you know what, I don't think we've sworn much. It's a bigger time
for the family.
I can't even.
That was a Family Matters joke, and you're welcome.
We would drop the mic, but it's on a stand, and it's valuable.
It's supported by its own. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm so upset that we haven't done more 80s references. I really am. I know it's not true, but...
I can get there.
You know what? Jim Beam was around in the 80s, even though it's not going to be a lot of 80 proofs in the next episode. I'm just going to throw... That's another thing. When I almost didn't choose this, I was going to bring the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. I asked you about that. And I was like, we're going to go from 80 to 101, from 115. I was like, there's going to be a lot of mixing and weirdness. All over the place. And then I was like, but I want to do 80s references. But then I thought, well, we can do 80s references anytime we want. It doesn't really matter when we say our references, but...
It's true.
Oh, so much thinking. It hurts my brain.
Well, stop thinking and start drinking.
Brain. Here we go. Right on. That'll help.
Nope.
The day will come. It's going to be a blind, and I'm going to do some sort of special dance. Tell me what kind of dance you want to see me do that keeps my clothes on so we don't get in trouble with YouTube.
We have to take our
We're going to do some
off.
blind somewhere, and he's going to taste something that's Scotch or Irish whiskey and be like, that's pretty good. I would drink a lot more of this. Whatever makes you happy about something.
Let me give you an old philosopher's saying. You can shit in one hand and wish in the other and see which one fills up first.
Well, I'm saying it's true. It's totally true. But when it's blind, I think we might have a better shot.
Well,
And again, I truly believe, and I will literally buy this stuff at some point.
Sorry.
If we get that, if I can get my hands on the Dewar's one, also a blended either Scotch or Canadian whiskey or something. No, Dewar's. I think
whiskeys
it's
are still better than Irish whiskeys. Like all I taste is that freaking. I don't know.
I think you should also. There's just a couple more I'm gonna at some point bring into the fold. The Jameson Black Barrel I bought to take on vacation with me this year, and I was so happy. I was just like, oh my god, this is so good. This is what we're drinking now. I wasn't as impressed because the apple didn't come out. And
I didn't taste any apple.
It didn't. Well, I thought I tasted a hint. Now I'm still not. But I'm not mad that I bought it. It used to be only in duty-free shops. You couldn't buy it on the shelves, and apparently during COVID they decided to.
We need to make money, and no one's traveling.
Yeah, so they sent it out.
Fair enough.
That's just water, but I don't know. It's still drinkable to me. It compares more to the Jane than it does to the Bird Dog still, in the lightness sort of.
Well, I was thinking in the
triple distilled. Just kind of
the flavoring.
You didn't even like that, huh?
No.
I love this.
So, this was better than the Jane, but of all three of them, I'm still going to go the Bird Dog, even though it was tasteless. Because the Bird Dog didn't taste like buttholes.
Right. You guys, listen, I told you to stop tasting buttholes. It taints your...
You go one...
It taints, oh my god.
You taste one butthole. No, but seriously, the
Oh my god. Oh my god.
if you're a Scotch drinker, something like that, you're probably gonna like the Dew. You're probably gonna like
The Dew.
the Jane Walker. But they're just not my flavor, and that's okay. I have my own personal tastes, and you have yours. So if you're a big fan of those kinds of things, those are all for you. He likes them. I don't. That's okay. Bird Dog isn't my favorite, but it's definitely something you could put in a cocktail. Mm-hmm. And so for those reasons, I pick Bird Dog.
Fair enough. And you know what? Still, I don't think I'd buy another bottle of this one. Again, because from the very beginning when I opened it, I didn't really get the apple. And when I did, it was once in every 5 or 10 sips, and it was so minor that I'm not even sure I did.
You know what you might do is grab some actual apple cider and mix it in there.
Yeah.
See if it brings it out.
I wouldn't buy another
doing
bottle.
A cocktail with it.
Yeah. The Bird Dog, like you said, it's just 80 proof bourbon.
Yeah. It's nothing special, but it's not horrible. It's better than friggin' what was that, Town Branch.
Even these three, I'd still pick the Jane. I still like it that low, and I would still buy another bottle at a decent price.
Yeah,
so.
that's your decision, man. That's cool. That's fair. I get it.
In the next episode, I'm going to do 1080s references. I'm just pointing that out because I'm so mad that I didn't just have those waiting because I thought of this late last night.
Clark, it's okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right.
Jeez.
Well,
why aren't we flying? Because getting there is half the fun. Don't you know that?
So you went with Jane, I went with Bird Dog, and that's been a WSB episode.
And when this is over, we're going to get in the family truckster and we're going to go for a ride. Yeah. So,
I'm Neat.
I'm Rox.
And this has been
The Bourbon Barrel.